This is my Uncle Andy. This is one of the only pictures that I have with him, and I want to keep the background short and simple. Before I moved to Minnesota, I hadn't talked to my uncle for about a decade. My dad, which is his brother, is one of the worst people I've ever met. So much so that when someone is a family member, I just don't really care about them by default. It's a sad truth, but it is still a truth. Somewhere down the line, my mom sorted things out with him and my aunt, that they were never really on his side, and so I slowly started talking to them and only them again. A few months before I was invited to Minnesota was some of the darkest times in my life, and I was so low that when he invited me to come and live with them here in Minnesota, I just said yes because I had thought that if I didn't, I was just going to hit a dead end. After a great first few months, I got the most depressed I've ever have been by far. And through everything, my Uncle Andy was always making light of everything in a way very much akin to like an Uncle Iroh. He always knew what to say, which story to tell, what unique angle to take, and he did like Avatar a lot too, so, the Uncle Iroh thing fits in. He's very in touch with all of the cool things that I liked and adjacent. He was really tapped in with just everything that was cool and nerdy, and it was just like a perfect balance. We loved going back and forth, sharing music, and just like telling each other stupid stories from our past. And he even used to be a Tekken player, so he understands the stories from when I do traveling for Smash pretty well. He thought that I was the coolest. He watched all my videos, and he asked me questions about pretty much all of them too. He tuned in when I did commentary at the big Minnesota regional we had last year and Cogribi 13, the biggest tournament ever. We always talked about the travels that I went on, and it was like a type of proudness that was really unique and something I had not ever experienced before. He's one of the most uniquely resilient people I've ever met. He was a type 1 diabetic. He has been blind for most of his life, and he has been a transplant recipient for just about as long as I've been conscious. Even when he passed away tonight, January 31st at around 10:50 p.m., he fought harder than someone would reasonably expect from somebody like that. We were talking about it the day prior, like that was supposed to be his last day, but he pushed for just one more. His pancreatic cancer was ruthless, and he still managed to joke about dying all the time, and I don't know how he could have been that brave. I envy that courage so much, because if it were me, I would be so scared that I was jinxing it every time. Even though I had more issues come up during this last year or so that he's been fighting cancer, I refused to bring anything up to him because I knew that he was the type of person that would worry and stress more for my sake than for his own. Thank you, Andy, for everything you've given me. A new home, a newfound sense of family, and a #1 fan. I hope whatever comes next for me is something that you are proud of, and I hope whatever comes next for you is just as comfortable and kick-ass as you deserve. I love you, and rest in peace.